able to go for it. He had a good position. He won that game against Levon. But I think Hikaru's looking for more solid openings as black.
Will we get an Armageddon chat? Tell us. I am excited about that. It would be a lot of fun to see the mind games between these two with the bidding Armageddon. But before that, Hikaru Nakamura with the black pieces taking on the world champion. And it's 1d4, the Queen's Pawn opening.
Oh, so I'm wrong. Robert, Tanya, it looks like James might be the one to call it. But will it be the Catalan? Okay, no. Oh, it looks likely to be the Nimzo Indian. There we go. Black's bishop coming out, pinning the white knight. This is the Nimzo. And Magnus employing this very trendy variation, blocking the pin.
Did you see Hikaru look? And now he's paused. He looked into the camera with a little bit of smirk like, oh, Magnus, you sly dog. He was not expecting this specific opening today. And it doesn't look like much. All Magnus did was put his bishop in front of the queen, blocking the pin on the diagonal. But it changes the dynamic of the game.
Yeah, it really does. And I don't recall Magnus playing this one either. So a small surprise early to start this one. Magnus naps the bishop pair. White has a very strong dark square bishop. That's why Hikaru jumps into the center of the board with his own line. It's worth spending one or two moves here to remove those bishops potentially. And here, black is the first to castle. And now, how does he fight against the white center? How does he erode that white strength in the middle of the board?
Very often in these positions, black ends up trading the knight for the bishop and then striking in the center, just liquidating that central pawn structure. Eventually, white could end up with an isolated queen's pawn. Are we expecting a trade and then a central break? Hikaru Nakamura says, no, I'm going for another plan, keeps the tension on the board.
Yeah, and one thing I will say is I've seen Hikaru have this exact position before with the black pieces, at least once or twice. So Magnus will be prepared, and look at the speed with which he's playing. He's immediately pushed forward in the center. First roll of balance, Magnus has the space. He has the more advanced pawns, so Hikaru needs to fight against that.
And he's looking at his opponent's plan, right? Hikaru played b6, so he can feed Keto his bishop. So what does Magnus do? He closes the diagonal before the bishop can even get there, while gaining the space that David's talking about. So Hikaru does not develop his bishop yet. He first slides his rook over, anticipating a capture on the center.
And Hikaru, that's opening recall face number 304. Just staring up to the right and remembering his opening studies, his opening prep there.
Which Chessable course, James?
Oh, of course, you know I'm a note. I actually was out of theory when he played d5. I couldn't remember what the theory was. I'm looking up too, like, what's the theory after d5? But everything was correct, even up to b6 and knight e4. Rook e8 is nice, keeping the tension. The Chessable course that this comes from is actually from Surya Ganguly in the Lifetime repertoire semi-Tarash, but this is actually the Nimzo one.
And the white rook gets active nonetheless. Suddenly it's white, maybe with the advantage the white knight very stable. The black bishop, not stable at all, and Nakamura brings his rook across. Maybe just having lost a turn there, full tempo, he could have played this move on the last go, and if he does offer this rook trade, of course, Magnus will say no. The white bishop, white knight only hold their own if there's a white rook on the board, and Magnus will avoid that trade for sure. As Robert mentioned, we're trying to get his own rook active next move. That's just a general tip if you're playing with minor pieces. They're always much stronger if you have a rook in combination with them. And looking good for white, I've got to say, or at least looking stable enough. Still not better, but
That's actually a great point that you just made, David, that in these kind of positions, Magnus has to avoid the rook trade to keep the bishop and the knight, the minor pieces, hold their own against the exchange that Magnus is currently down. He wants to get that a-pawn rolling. He wants to try and create weaknesses in black's camp. Is that a threat that Hikaru can stop right now, or is Hikaru going to create his own counterplay?
Well, I think that if the queenside pawns get trade off the board, the game's immediately a draw. So that is what Magnus aimed for. If the rooks come off now, the reason why white will lose is because of the presence of the queenside pawns. The bishop and the knight, they're far to the side. They won't be able to defend those pawns on the queenside. So if the and A pawns are off, then you can trade rooks, you still make a draw because there's nothing black can do to kick your minor pieces away.
And I heard this great saying, I think it was by Jesse Cray, and he was saying it's like ice cream flavors. You want one of everything when you're the exchange down here. You want a rook, you want a bishop, you want a knight, because they actually combine really well together.
To make a sundae.
To make a sundae, exactly.
There
To make a tasty sundae. But yeah, without one of those flavors, it becomes a much more bland position, much more one-dimensional, and it's not to everyone's taste. So
I think actually, believe it or not, the only plan that I see for black here, David, is maybe like this is a long shot because these pieces are so well placed, Magnus's, that the plan, I mean, even if time is getting even more even now too, is rook c1, right? He's going to avoid the trade, bring the other rook. Well, he didn't play it, but my goal here is to play king h7 and go g5. Then after en passant, play g5 again, get rid of the knight, and then get my rook to c2 and the other one to g1.
Wow.
This is it's a long-term plan, but if I can get this, then I can win the g2 pawn, but it takes a while to do this.
yeah, instead, I like this, James, at least from a point of view of going for the win. Hikaru chooses a more solid option. We see this position in front of us. There's been a trade of one set of pawns on that side, on the queen side, and white should be relatively safe. Feels like Nakamura, he's just set up a barrier. Black's rook on the 7th rank, black's bishop. Make sure that the white rook will never get active, and wow, indeed, he is retreating. I think he's just saying, okay, I'm going to play for the draw.
He offered a draw.
Wow.
Yeah, he did offer a draw, and I don't know if Magnus hasn't seen it, but he should probably accept.
I think Magnus knows. He's kind of considering it. He gave that look, but then Hikaru's shaking his head. Wow. Hikaru up and exchanges offered a draw.
What would we do here in the studio? Would we say yes if we were Magnus or no?
Oh yeah, I'm down to exchange.
I'd say yes.
I ain't about to push this boy. I can't move nothing.
He said yes.
Oh, we're getting
Congratulations, he said
an